Evening. Welcome to another episode of Real Critics. I'm Frank.
I'm Richie.
And this week we're going to review Captain Phillips.
I really like this movie.
I enjoyed the movie as well. I thought it was a great pirate movie. It didn't have Johnny Depp in it, which I was pleased with. But no, actually I thought it was a really good story about how a captain of a cargo ship repels, or not repel, but tries to repel pirates, and off the coast of Somalia. And actually, I remember this happening in 2009. I really didn't understand the whole pirate thing back then.
Right.
I was like, how can you really take a cargo ship over? I mean, I figured they'd have some sort of security on there, a lot better than the water jets they had shooting around all the boat.
So they're whale hunters.
Yeah.
It's the same thing whale hunters used to stop people from poaching whales. It's unbelievable.
But
you can't give them some kind of at least one gun in a locked box.
My whole thing is that here they are. They have orders to sail, the Horn, which
it's like a panic alarm on your car.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, hurry up! Don't forget to sound the alarm because somebody thousands of miles away
could hear it.
Could possibly hear it. No, what the hell is that going to do?
Yeah.
Is that supposed to scare the friggin' pirate who knows there's nobody around, which is why they singled you out?
Yeah, well, it didn't really scare them because, not only were they were foiled the first time, but they came back, But I guess piracy happens in that area where they were sailing quite often. So,
yeah.
I mean...
Well, they knew about it beforehand.
Yeah, they had emails.
They had precautions to take,
yeah.
Which are they were stupid,
yeah,
and useless.
But I did think that Tom Hanks did an excellent job as Captain Phillips. I think he did a really great performance of having to put himself in that position. I even loved his accent. Did you like his accent?
I loved everything about how he played that part.
Yeah,
it was great. I think he got screwed over.
I think he got screwed over too.
Getting, not getting any awards for that.
Well,
the movie itself was up for multiple awards.
Yes, I think Tom Hanks pissed somebody off at the Academy.
Possibly.
He probably was anti-Obama, so they probably railroaded him. It's always got to do something with politics.
Something. But no, man, the movie was great. And if you haven't seen it, basically, it's Tom Hanks. He's captain of a cargo ship. I think they had a bunch of food and water and stuff for that country.
Well, it was for multiple countries. But
even for them.
Yeah.
Even for their country, the Somalians. And these pirates attempt to get on the ship. They put out their little fire hoses to try to stop them, which failed miserably. You said, they sound the alarm, which no one came.
The best thing about their anti-pirate, recourse was that misdirection was a big part of their fending off pirates, because the pirates they don't have any knowledge of the ship or the ship's works, So basically, how Captain Phillips tells everybody is to go hide. And if you should be taken hostage,
do what they say.
Just lead them around in circles, and try to make them try to survive long enough so when the help comes. Which, by the way, in the movie, when they were approached the first time by the pirates, and they went to go call the security department, and of course nobody was on the phone.
Yeah,
they were like, they're not answering.
They were unavailable.
They're not on. Really. who dropped the ball on that one? And then they
ended up getting away.
Yeah.
And then
they must have dropped it in fifth, and that cargo ship hauled ass.
The motor on the Somalians' boat went out. And they ended up going back after them.
But the smart thing was
still came.
The smart thing was that when the Somalians actually did put their brain cells together and rubbed them and stuff, they put two motors on the back of their boat, their skiff, and loaded it only with half the soldiers.
Right.
So
three guys.
So they were actually able. Actually, it was four.
It was
guys.
four.
Four guys.
Yeah, that's right.
To hurry up and catch the cargo ship that's going warp 5.
Yeah.
Because you know how a cargo ship can haul ass.
Ludicrous speed. Go!
I think
Spaceballs reference, in case anyone just what the hell is he doing? What's ludicrous speed?
But I think in the film where they actually have this, they do the Somalians portion of the movie, no subtitles, because basically everything on that side was all hearsay, so you couldn't really tell what they were. I think how the movie portrayed it was that you really didn't know what they were saying, but you got the general idea where they were going.
Yeah.
But even though you couldn't tell, because usually in most movies they sit there and they do have the subtitles for you, this one not having it, I thought actually did better.
Yeah.
For it. Because you really were in Captain Phillips' shoes, like not knowing what they were saying, and what they had planned to do.
Even the actors who played the Somalians,
they
did great.
They did an awesome job.
The main guy, Muse.
Yes.
He was awesome.
Yeah.
And you know what? I saw the picture of the guy who actually is him.
Yeah.
Who's in prison right now, and they look. Those look like
scary, isn't it?
Kind of scary. Like, oh my god, they found the guy.
And his second in command, the way he had, he was all just.
Dude, he was like out of his mind. They had the drugs that they were running out of, and they were starting to go crazy. But yeah, in the movie, they end up getting Captain Phillips. The crew ends up getting their captain, I guess you want to call it, the guy Muse. And then they want to do a trade.
They wanted to do a trade.
And then
captain for captain, pretty much.
Captain Phillips in the lifeboat. And when it came time to giving up Captain Phillips, because we just like, oh, we'll give you your guy first.
Well, see, you know what I don't understand is that they gave him $30,000.
It wasn't enough.
They gave Somalians $30,000, and for some reason that wasn't enough. Now, if I was a Somalian and I was living in a freaking grass hut and...
Well, I think what they tried to explain in the beginning was, like, it wasn't enough. Because they got bosses, and they have to come back with millions
of dollars.
Or, they possibly just be murdered.
Yeah, but...
I mean, it's just...
30 grand.
It's their way of life. And I thought they did a good job explaining that, actually.
Yeah.
And even the actor trying to talk to Tom Hanks, because they actually got along. You almost like that guy, Muse... as you're watching the movie.
Yeah.
Even though he's the bad guy, you almost like them.
You almost like, yeah.
Because he's like, he called Captain Phillips Irish, and he's like, you could tell he didn't hate him. He kind of liked them.
Yeah, but it was more or less like a hatred, I mean...
He was funny. He was like kind of humorous.
And how Captain Phillips always tried to, intervene.
Yeah.
With trying to tell them, you need to give up, you need to stop this, or else it's going to end up bad for everybody.
Yeah.
I think his perseverance for, trying to mislead them, continuously.
Yeah. So basically, they hop in they get in the lifeboat, they take off with Captain Phillips.
Yeah.
They get all their...
Now, here's a lifeboat. Now, if I was the Somalian, once again, I hop into the lifeboat that moves at, I don't know,
5 miles an hour.
The equivalent of like 5-10 miles an hour. And it was supposed to be a 36-hour voyage. I got the minnow, in mind here. 3-hour tour, bullshit, This thing took off, was it like 4 days? There were 4 days in that
was
little...
it 4 days?
Yeah.
It was like 3 or 4.
Oh my God.
A long time.
If I was a part of that crew, I'd be like, hey, when are we hitting the coast?
Oh, and that little tiny... it wasn't big. I mean...
It wasn't big at all, and they were...
It was like what Tom Hanks came down in Apollo 13.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome.
He's used to cramped spaces by now.
But, so they're hanging out in that. The crew ship, the cargo ship, follows them until, the Navy gets involved and shows up.
Yeah.
And then it's just like a negotiation thing, trying to get Captain Phillips back before they have to just basically blow that lifeboat out of the water before they get to
Somalia, the coast of Somalia. Which I have to say that, one of the interesting facts about this movie is that the SEAL team used to take out the pirates was also the SEAL team to take down Bin Laden.
Yep.
Of course, no one's supposed to know about that or supposed to hear about that stuff, so,
I thought it was really cool.
I think the way they took them out with the snipers, you know, they had to get all three.
Man, it was so cool. Like, because they're towing the boat, they got their captain on board
For negotiations.
They're tricking them. They're making them think they're talking to their bosses, and they have to come aboard. And because they're so, I guess you say, gullible, naive, and just money hungry.
You know, the people in Somalia don't exactly have colleges to go to
they don't.
for being a pirate.
Right. But basically...
First rule is never listen to the guy telling you that we'll give you money.
Yeah. You want million? Okay. All right. Well, you got to come over, though. We got to talk about it first.
Come to our battleship.
Yeah. So basically...
Full of our guys with M16s. Yeah, come on over. Yeah.
So they got their guy, and they basically... they're trying to they got a bunch of snipers, and they can only get on 2 of the Somalians, and they can't get the one guy.
Well, actually...
Because they want to get 3 shots all at the same time.
Because they can't risk Captain Phillips.
Right, because once they shoot one, they're just going to kill Captain Phillips.
Yeah.
So, towards the end of the movie, basically this guy's like out of his mind. He has no drugs left. He's going crazy. He realizes kind of what's going on, and he decides he's going to shoot Captain Phillips. And they're tugging the boat, towing it, and they're like, "Stop the tow!" And as soon as they stop,
execute.
Everyone in the lifeboat goes forward. You got all 3 greens. Execute.
Taking them down.
Awesome. And the part that Tom Hanks played after that scene, you know, playing the
distraught,
stressed.
You know, basically, he was in shock.
Yeah. And he played that part great.
And I think he played...
Even the whole time when he's getting a checkup and everything, he was just...
And you know one thing that really kind of like irks me? And it happens in real life, actually. When like the medical team, they go check you out, don't you feel like you're being... I don't know,
you know what I thought,
in a way? Like
I didn't think
it's okay, you're fine. I just saw 3 people's brains fly out of their head. I know. You're safe now, though. You're okay now. Okay? So, do you feel any pain here? How about here? How about over here? Even though you're about to burst into tears and everything, yeah. It's always like, you know...
Well, you know, I thought it was like, she wouldn't stop talking.
Yeah.
Like, you never gave him a chance to answer a question.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To calm him down. Just sit there and be like, okay, just take a minute and breathe and relax. You're safe now. Okay?
Has anybody heard of a sedative?
That's how it should have been done. No, she's like, okay, Captain Phillips, I need you to sit down. I need you to calm down, okay? It's over with,
yeah.
Okay?
You were about to get shot, but...
Why are you crying?
Calm down.
Why are you crying?
Calm down.
It's over with. Stop. Don't whine. It's over.
No lollipop at the end.
Relax. You're not going to get a sticker.
But see, that's the thing. Is like, you know, most movies, when they sit there and they portray this... I think, once again, he said Tom Hanks plays a really excellent part at the end where he is in shock and that he's, like, you know, discombobulated with what's going on and trying to get a good grasp on this, you know, because God knows if, you know, a pirate came over and took over my house, you know. Well, no, I'd probably shoot him. I'd shoot them all. I'll try to get them all shot.
I would...
In fact, I'd sit there and just like, hey, why don't you guys go look out the window?
Well, it's funny, like you were saying, like you watched it with your son, and he has all these questions. Why don't you just take the gun and shoot him?
Yeah.
You know, and it's
you never know what you're going to do in that situation.
You know, we can sit here and say that.
But, you know, and that's how I view it in a sense where you hear the real story, you know, because this was based on a true story.
Yeah.
Now, it was based on a true story. That means Hollywood basically took it and made up 80% of it.
Yeah.
Okay? How they perceived, like later on, most of the crew sat there and said Captain Phillips wasn't.
They basically trashed Captain Phillips.
Oh, because
Richard Phillips was just a jerk and an asshole. They hated him. He was not loved or liked by anyone on the crew.
Not only that, when they told him that he was entering pirate waters, he said that I'm not going to, you know, let them scare me. I'm sorry. A group of freaking people, the AK's coming up. Well, I want to check my shorts after that.
And when I thought about it, I was like, oh, they did that to make it a better movie.
Yes.
They changed the story. But you know what? Would that have been such a bad story to go with anyways?
I don't think
having such like a dick of a captain and then having that happen.
I don't think that Captain Phillips would sign off on that one.
No, he probably wouldn't. And you know the only reason this movie got made?
You have to call it Captain Tom.
The only reason this movie got made was because after it happened, he wrote a book called Captain's something or whatever, and it was about the story.
Yeah.
And then someone wanted to turn that into
a movie.
So of course you get his side of it, what he said happened. And of course, I'm awesome.
I came at him with a ball-peen hammer, and I was smashing the brains in. No, you weren't.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe not. But anyways, that's what I was going to do.
But wouldn't that be awesome in a movie? But anyways, all the other guys died. They had the one guy, Muse, which is serving a 33-year sentence in prison in Arizona. And Captain Phillips supposedly returned to the sea in 2010.
Yeah, a year later, he actually returned to, and I'm sure that...
Which either way, asshole or not...
There was a lot of people wanting to get on that boat.
Asshole or not, that's pretty, yeah. Would you go back after something like that?
Oh, well, that's the thing.
I mean, it's probably like getting hit by lightning.
I'm sure he wasn't making that same route. I'm sure he wasn't doing that.
Yeah, I'm sure he's.
I'm sure he was. I'm sure he was flying rubber dog shit out of Hong Kong.
Yeah, he's probably home every night.
Top Gun.
That was good. So yeah,
back into Pirate
that's pretty much our. You got anything else to add for Captain Phillips?
Well, more or less, I think that Tom Hanks deserves an Academy nod, and there's a lot of other movies out there that I thought that pretty much deserved it as well. But I mean, once again, Hollywood never gets it right. The critics did rave about it, though. They just said it was a great movie. They said it was a good movie.
You guys got it one right.
Yeah, one for you. But other than that, you guys can go ahead and comment, and
we'll end you with some movie news.
Actually, yes.
Probably. You may already know.
This is like the biggest movie news to hit. I have to say DC universe, pretty much.
Yeah.
Go ahead, man.
They
lay it on them.
They delayed Batman vs Superman, Superman vs Batman, whatever the hell they're going to call it, a whole entire year.
Only because Matt Damon wouldn't sign on with Ben Affleck.
As Robin. No, actually, the rumor is the script.
They wouldn't call it Goodwill Superman.
They couldn't get Pete Holmes on to write it. They wanted to make it a comedy. No. Basically, Henry Cavill, he loved the script, but guess who didn't?
Wait a minute. I don't know. Ben Affleck.
Yeah, he hated the script. He hated it. He said, "No way." So guess what?
And honestly, I think he probably actually sat there with the script writers and said, "Hey, how come my face isn't being shown? I mean, I know I'm Batman,
yeah,
but why do you got to cover this? This is the bread and butter right here."
There was so not enough Bruce Wayne scenes in this movie. Whatever. Either way, it's like I think they're at risk actually losing. I know if that's true and he's the reason it got delayed.
If they got to push it back a year,
I think they're at risk of actually losing him as Batman.
I think they have a big chance.
Because
but would it be such a bad thing?
I
mean, Ryan Reynolds is on the phone.
Oh, there you go. You know what? Don't fucking start with me. I swear to God. I'm okay with it right now. I kind of gotten used to the idea. Okay, he's going to play Batman.
Well, I mean, he's come out, and told everybody.
He's already getting in shape. If you see like recent pictures of him, he wears a lot of sweaters and stuff trying to hide it. But you can already tell he's bulking up. Wow. He's doing what he has to do for the film. I'm okay with that, but I think with his career is the highest it's ever been with directing and acting right now, that there's so many projects he's going to want to do. They might lose him.
I'm not saying that it would be such a bad thing to lose him. I mean,
you know what? It would suck. You know why? Because how long do we have to wait? How much further is DC falling behind Marvel? Because stuff?
they do have
now they're going to go back to 2016. That's insane. That's insane. And now they're talking about maybe doing the back-to-back they're talking about shooting the Justice League movie too. So almost.
Well,
like,
they have to.
It would be like a back-to-back.
You would
the
need,
same year. 1 month would be the Batman Superman, then the following month.
Hey, Peter Jackson did it with Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
they did them all three pretty much.
Which I would be okay with it.
You would have to jump on that train.
It sucks because you almost feel like they're rushing it at some points, and then at other points they're just taking too much time.
I thought it was American.
What?
Oh, Russian it. I'm sorry.
Russian. Bitch, you ain't from Russia?
God dang, it was a funny motherfucker.
So
I don't think that pushing it back was the greatest idea. That DC they really need to strike when the iron is hot, and they need to get it out. On top of that, that just pushes back Wonder Woman, the movie.
Because she got signed on to do Justice League.
She got signed on,
as well as her own movie.
But I mean, they really need to get it together because Marvel. Days of Future Past.
Them away.
They got the Avengers already on slate
Avengers 2, Ant-Man. They're talking about doing maybe the Doctor Strange. I mean, like, there's so many.
Let's
we
not
don't
talk about that.
Ant-Man, but I'm just saying.
Let's not talk about Doctor Strange because you know what?
You can't really go bad on Marvel yet until
I can't go bad on Marvel
until they actually. We can fear for the worst, but until they actually put out a product that is just like, oh, they fucked up. Am I watching an old DC movie? What's going on?
Yeah.
You just don't.
The one thing that I'm afraid of is actually they're going to just cut out the movie completely. Because I've seen this happen where they have this movie slated for a time, it gets pushed back, and then all suddenly gets dumped. I mean, that's why.
I don't think that's going to happen.
That's why Spider-Man 4 got dumped.
Even if, say, Ben Affleck did drop out, they're making this movie.
Well, they're going to
Zack Snyder, Warner Brothers, they have made so much buzz about this movie. There's no way it's not getting made.
Oh,
unfortunately, it's just going to be 2-3 years down the road, whenever it is.
Wow.
And Kevin Smith, right?
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of talk on him. I guess he's seen the actual bat suit.
Yeah.
The suit that Batman's going to wear. He was telling a story how Zack Snyder showed him a phone, and it was a picture of Batman on a rooftop and then Superman behind him. And the Superman was Henry Cavill, and he's like, "Oh, you just got an actor to wear the suit?" And he's like, "No, look a little closer." And it was Ben Affleck in the suit that they're going to wear.
Well,
all he keeps talking about is how badass this suit is, because people wonder what suit they're going to use.
Is it going to be black?
It won't be any suit. He won't give anything. No one's giving anything. I'm sure we'll have some kind of color in it. I don't think it's going to be a straight black. They're going to try and jazz it up. Whether it's a dark silver, like a really dark yellow, which barely tint. Maybe
they're gonna bedazzle it.
Maybe they'll put some jewels. And who knows?
Make it flashy, instead of like that hardcore dark Batman. It's more of an outgoing.
I see it looking more like a like almost machine built like.
Now that would be cool.
Like the Destroyer from Thor. Like I'm sure it's gonna be like black most of it, but I see it being built like that.
It could be Iron Man, but Batman.
It's the Iron Man suit painted black with little pointy ears.
They could glue the ears on it.
Just rip that part of the face mask out.
I'm just really afraid about, and I know that everybody sits there and they might say the same thing about the Batman movies, the Dark Knight series where
Well, I mean, that's another thing.
No, I'm just saying that how. The voice of Batman.
Yeah.
Come over here.
Swear to me.
I think I got. Okay, that's a little harsh on the
How
voice.
many takes do you think Christian Bale had to do? Especially when he first started doing the real Batman voice, oh my god.
I think I'm kind of afraid of how Ben Affleck's actually going to portray that.
Yeah.
I really haven't heard him in a deep voice.
You mentioned about the Dark Knight, and that's another thing they're pushing back. Like, off the Superman movie, they want to start their own new Dark Knight.
Yeah, they want to do a new series.
With Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
That's being pushed back now, too. When the hell is that going to happen? 2020?
Well,
25? I mean...
I think that if they lose Ben Affleck, I do believe that they'll actually try to get the movie back on its original date or close to it,
It's not... No, it can't happen now. Because Marvel's Ant-Man already moved in that slot. There's no chance that movie goes back to its original date.
Well, let me just put it to you this way. right? You can put the Smurfs 3 up against Ant-Man, and I'm sure it's going to make a hell of a lot more. I just don't have any faith in Ant-Man. I'm sorry.
I know you
because
don't.
you know what? There's not enough character. There was never enough character in the comic books.
You know what?
He didn't even have his own series.
How was the Ant-Man getting made before the Flash? I don't
know.
care.
How is Ant-Man being made at all, is what I'm saying. He's not enough character to have a movie surrounded. It's almost like trying to do...
The only thing I think of is if he has something to do with the Justice League.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he does.
No, I'm saying he's going to have a pretty decent-sized role for what...
But then you know what? This is another screw-up that Marvel's going to sit there and give the green light on. Because you know what? In the first X-Men, when it came out and they actually sat there and said, what villains are we going to use? And they go, Sabretooth, the brainless stooge that was like, Magneto's lackey.
Terrible.
The Toad. Really?
Toad. I think he's supposed to actually be in the next X-Men.
Let me tell you something, man. You can use a Toad in a porno. I'm sure it'd make millions, okay? But by itself, he was a shitty villain, all right? I'm sorry, he was.
It was.
All right? I mean,
we were just happy to have an X-Men movie.
I mean, so Mystique I loved. I mean, she was just... I always loved Mystique, though. I mean, she had a little bit more to offer, But as far as the rest, I mean, this is the route. Ant-Man. Who are we going to have? The Anteater? The villain?
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying is that they usually get on this track, how they're going to play it out.
Right.
And it turns out, well, it's the only thing we got from them, so we might as well go see the movie. I'm sure it's going to make great earnings the first weekend, because everybody wants to go see this thing. And if it turns out to be a great movie, I will sit there and tell everyone, I'm sorry, great movie, bump it.
I'll tell you this.
Lock it up.
I'm concerned. But like I said, until they actually put something out there that
I
don't like, I'm not going to say it's just automatically going to do terrible.
Now, I understand the fact that, when they bring out this movie, it's to help, do the Avengers. They want to make a tighter Avengers movie. And God willing, they've already taken out a lot of, Robert Downey Jr. is going to be in it, but he won't be playing Iron Man. Rose is going to be playing Iron Man full time. I think that's going to take away a little bit. I think it's going to take a little bit out of it. He was just, I think how Robert Downey Jr. what he did, he molded Iron Man to be him, and that was that. That was it. And I don't know. I know Marvel didn't really want to go in that route, but hey, it's not like they're going to make a Sherlock Holmes 3. But
never know.
I hope not.
But
anyways, the movie news. That's what we got so far.
We'll try to, if anything worth mentioning comes up, we'll throw them at the end of all our reviews, and
maybe we'll get Christopher Walken to play Iron Man, or even Batman for DC.
Maybe Joker, a really old Joker.
No, I think he would play a great Batman.
Honestly. Anyways, if you like what you've heard, comment please. If you have any suggestions for movies that you want us to review, go in and comment and let us know, and we'll check it out and we'll do that.
Yes, so until next time, if you haven't seen our past ones, go check them out.
Please.
And if you like them, great. If not,
fuck you.
I don't give a shit.
Peace.